It's that time of year, y'all. I sent out a message to y'all. Please send me your favorite Christmas cookie recipe. And y'all did. And for that, I thank y'all so much. Well, I got a recipe that sounds absolutely so good. It's not your standard, drop cookie, y'all. It was sent to me from Elisa Danick. But the name of it is Oma's Cookie Jar. And I'm assuming that that's Oma. I'm not sure. They didn't write a note or anything. They just sent the recipe.
That could be Alicia, if Alicia is.
Yeah, it could be Alicia. She said that smell from the kitchen is magical. So I am making her praline shortbread. That's what it's gonna look like with any luck. Doesn't that look delicious? Like I said, not your typical drop cookie. So I am going to start, let's see, we've got some coffee grounds, and it is, let me see how much.
That's a tablespoon.
Tablespoon of coffee grounds.
And I'm going to add a teaspoon of hot water to it and let it sit while you do that. That's good. And you can get the hot water right out of them. And it'll be so hot. So we're going to let that sit for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to discard the grounds on that. But to start the cookie, I'm going to cream 1 stick of butter. I think it's a tablespoon, two tablespoons of creamy peanut butter. And then I'm going to be adding our sugar and our vanilla. And then to that, I'm going to be adding cornstarch. That's 2/3 of a cup. And no, that's our flour, 1 2/3 a cup. And then our cornstarch, which is 2/3 of a cup. So let me get started. Alicia. I wish I knew who I was talking to, Uma or Alicia. Anyway, I thank you. All right, so we're just going to mix that together until it's kind of creamy. Okay, we've got that creamed together. Now I'm going to add my sugar, or Uma's sugar, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Ooh, I'm about out, so we'll just do it all. How about that? Better safe than sorry. Cornstarch. Flour. Mix. I think it's time to drain our coffee, and it sure didn't produce much liquid at all, but hopefully the coffee flavor. Hopefully we got enough of the coffee flavor. I can't remember how long Alicia said to around 4 minutes.
Okay, maybe it was that long. Anyway, not a bunch of liquid, but hopefully it's enough to give it a good coffee flavor. I want to go back over her recipe and make sure I hadn't left anything out, because this looks awfully doesn't look like cookie dough, y'all. So let me just make sure. All right, I had a tablespoon. That was supposed to be a tablespoon of coffee.
It was.
Yeah, and a teaspoon of mixed together and set aside. 8 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, half a cup of sugar, 2/3 cup of cornstarch, 1 2/3 cup of flour, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then add the flour and blend well. Line a 9-inch square pan with parchment and then spray. Press cookie mixture into the pan. Then dock it. I've never heard that expression. And in parentheses, use a fork to punch holes all over the top of the dough.
What would you like to add more to? I can tell you is it butter?
Well, I don't know. I've never seen a cookie dough quite so dry. Okay, it's looking more like a dough now. So I'm just going to keep on using my hands. The warmth of my hands hopefully will break down the butter. Okay. So I just wanted to double check, y'all. So I put everything that Uma says to put in it. So now I'm going to spray my parchment paper. And I don't know why she recommended that, but I'm sure time will tell us why she did it. All right, she says to just press our dough. Have y'all ever heard of the description to dock it?
I have not. Have you heard of that, baby? Yep. That sounds northern to me.
I know it does.
I don't know why that even.
Where's Alicia from?
She didn't tell us a whole lot. Maybe she'll send us. Hopefully, after this airs, she'll send us some more info.
Girl, you wasn't talking, honey.
But that recipe talked to me.
Let me bring this thing down where it's not so high. Okay. So we are going to put a topping on this, y'all. After this cooks, we're going to let it cool completely. And then we're going to put a praline topping on top of it. And that's really going to moisten this bar cookie up and send us into hog heaven. I'm thinking. I love to know what other people are doing. So I so appreciate y'all sharing your recipes with me and the rest of the world. Because your favorite cookie recipe might just become ours as well. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put just a little butter on my hands and see if that will help me stick it out. Okay. Now we're going to put this in.
I'll get that for you.
A preheated oven. Thank you. The more I touch, the more it. Let's see. Did you grab the recipe, Teresa?
I did. It's 350 and it says 20 minutes.
So it's time to finish off our praline shortbread cookies. And these are the ones that's going to be cut into bar shapes, y'all. And you can see, you remember how stiff that was? And I really had to press hard. It reminds me of lemon bars. You know how you really have to press that crust down in there? This was kind of the same way. So we got to finish those off. And to do that, I'm going to need a stick and a half of butter. And I ran out of pecans, y'all. So the first half a cup is pecans and the top half is walnuts. A nut is a nut is a nut. So, Alicia Danick sent this recipe in to all of us, and she calls it Oma's Oma's recipe, and she said to put the butter, the sugar, and the syrup into a saucepan and bring to a boil, and then turn down to a simmer and simmer for 5 minutes, stirring very often. Remove from heat and then stir in the nuts, y'all, and pour over the top of the completely cooled cookie. Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna start melting this, and I need some white syrup, so I'm gonna spray this so the syrup will come out of my spoon, so it'll just roll out. And this stuff is pouring like syrup.
Imagine
Slow. Slow. All right, that's one. I used to love this kind of syrup on my pancakes and waffles when I was a little girl. Yeah.
Ooh, that's really sweet.
Uh-huh. That's how it turned out so sweet. Did you get Teresa's face on that one, Eddie? I don't think she believes me.
Of course we did.
All right. So we're gonna bring this to a boil and stir it often for about 5 minutes. Then we're gonna add those nuts, and then we're gonna pour this over that incredible shortbread crust. Yum. It's been simmering for 5 minutes, and I know it didn't call for vanilla, but you know, it's just hard for me not to use vanilla, so you don't have to do it. All right, we're just half nuts today, half pecans, half walnuts, and so we're gonna stir those in, and we're gonna pour this on top of our shortbread cookies.
Now the recipe asks for strictly pecans, but we like walnuts. So that's another change that we made.
Yeah, I love a walnut. Love a walnut. And of course, pecans, you know that. I mean, that's like Georgia's pecan capital of the world. So, all right, we're gonna just take this and pour this on top. You gotta love it. 12 days of Christmas cookies. Huh?
They keep making us wait because now we have to wait till it cools.
I know. So it's gonna be a good while. It's gonna be a good while for this puppy's cool. And she says to spread it out evenly over your shortbread cookie. Wow. Yeah, Teresa, I bet you'll be gone by the time
I will be, but I'll be back tomorrow.
Have this. By the time I have this cool enough for us to sample. Look at that. See, it's already starting to get hard.
Love
that
it.
praline. And those are the same ingredients that I start putting in the pot for when I make my pralines from scratch. Alicia, I have been waiting patiently for this to cool, and they look fabulous. So I'm gonna do just as you said do. I'm gonna cut them in finger shapes. Look at that. Whoa. And so I'm cutting them, I'm trying to cut them like an inch. by fat.
Looks good.
Alicia, they look wonderful. Oma's praline, cream cheese praline cookies.
Praline shortbread.
Mm-hmm. Praline shortbread.
No cream cheese.
No cream. Wow. Alicia, I've never had anything like it. but I will make this again. It's out of this world. The praline topping is wonderful. I might cut them almost in little squares like that because that praline topping is rich. You know, and I love rich men and rich food. I'm kidding about the rich men. Never ran up on a rich one. It is so good. It doesn't look as Christmassy as, you know, some of the cookies that we tend to kind of decorate just for Christmas. But what a wonderful addition this would make to your, along with your typical Christmas cookies. Thank you so much, Alicia, for sending it. Y'all must try. Eddie, you ready to try? Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.